The question for the IELTS Writing Task 2 was, alright, so that's the question. So let's have a look at what we're going to write in the introduction and the three paragraphs that is followed by the introduction, and what we have to write for the conclusion as well. So let's get started. Okay, so as we know that we have introduction and body and conclusion for any writing task 2 kind of essay. In fact, any essay that you write. So first of all, we write an introduction that has the topic of the question and the aspect we are dealing with, and finally our opinion. And after that, in the first paragraph, we're going to write about the benefits of consumerism. In other words, the advantages of availability of various goods. And in the second paragraph, we're going to talk about the drawbacks or the disadvantages of consumerism. In other words, problems of having too many products and other issues regarding the ownership of too many products. In the third paragraph, we can emphasize on the negative sides by saying that there are benefits, but buying too much is not good. So we can support this topic sentence by giving examples and explanations down below. And finally, in the conclusion, we give the message to the reader that there are of course advantages or positive sides for consumerism, but it is a negative development, and that is the final message we're going to give in the conclusion paragraph or the summary of the total explanation. So let me take you to the next one, which we are going to discuss the introduction in detail. And so the topic, which is the first thing we have to focus on, the message, the huge increase in the purchase, people's habit of purchasing, which is not actually for necessity, or which is not actually very necessary. So we have to write a topic that has this same message, and then after that we have to come down to the topic or the aspect of the question, which is we have to say it has both positive and negative impacts on people's lives because of the consumerism. And then finally we can say this trend is really disastrous for people and also in the society as well. So if you take a look at this picture, you can see one of the benefits of consumerism. So we're going to talk about the benefits of consumerism in the first paragraph by writing a sentence as a topic sentence that has a similar meaning of buying various products are beneficial. And then we quote the example of modern gadgets such as computers and smartphones and tablets, and we say these are beneficial for students for learning and other educational purposes. Of course, if they use this one, there is no need to travel to libraries, and that of course saves time as well. And then finally we conclude by saying the benefits are enormous or huge. So that concludes that first paragraph. And in the second paragraph we're going to talk about the negative side. So as you can see in the picture, the first one is about pollution, second one is about traffic congestion, the third one is about the necessity of many expenses to maintain the cars and other vehicles that people buy if it is not actually maintained properly. That one, we write the second paragraph where we give emphasis on the negative consequences of consumerism, and first we talk about the difficulty to have a possession of too many products. So it not only creates a problem for the owner but also for everybody, and of course neighbors included. And then we continue on talking about the problems we just finished mentioning, which is the problem of creating pollution and also the traffic jams. And then finally we say if it is not properly maintained, it creates huge repair expenses, which is also causing trouble for many people. And by concluding that sentence, we go to the next paragraph, which is about finding solutions and also comparing positive sides and negative sides and making some suggestions. So as you can see in the first picture, it implicates we're blowing their money. Many people spend their money on unnecessary things and they're actually wasting it. Instead, if you look at the second picture, it gives the notion that it could be spent otherwise on educating the poor people, students in many countries or even in our neighborhood. And or otherwise we can utilize this money for to feed the poor kids and also other people, or for other charity work. So to include this detail, we create the last paragraph emphasizing on the drawbacks and also talking about some of the alternative measures we can do instead of wasting the money. So we say there are of course benefits for buying too much, and that's not good. So it should contain this message, but it should not be the exact sentence, by the way. And we can talk about it's very easy to waste money on unwanted things. And so this amount of money can be spent on educational purposes, educating the poor, or some other charity work. So by finishing that paragraph, it's time to conclude the essay. So in the conclusion, we mentioned the fact that of course there are many benefits for consumerism, but it is not good. And that is the content of the conclusion. So we can write a sentence like there are obvious positive effects of use and ownership of consumer goods, but the increased volumes of its possession is absolutely harmful. So these are two sentences, or you can also construct a sentence uh, by, by fixing these two sentences into one by using the phrase despite. So if you use that phrase, you can say despite the obvious positive effects of use and ownership of consumer goods, its increased volume of the possession is harmful. So by saying this, we can actually write that two sentences into one. So that's how we basically conclude. And of course, this is a sample, and you can come up with your own way of concluding with adding others by adding some other examples and some interesting phrases as well. So that's the end of it. Thanks for watching.